Hey everybody, and welcome to the weekly Scopes from the 12th to the 18th of February. On the 12th of February, the Moon's North Node stations direct out of retrograde at 7:30 a.m. Not a major thing, but I just want to tell you what that can mean for you. The Moon's North Node going direct is a reminder that the universe is always in the process of transformation, and that we can all create something beautiful with our lives and make a difference in the world if we choose to. It encourages us to use our energy and resources to create positive changes in our life, no matter how hard it is and challenging, and how much we've been hurt in the past, or how much we feel that we cannot, we're too old and things like that. It's a promise that if we just take some small steps, doing things daily to make our lives better, that we can achieve that. Gives us the purpose and clarity to tap into self-belief and make lasting and meaningful relationships with ourselves and others, and to manifest our dreams and create a better future for ourselves and those around us. Allowing you to recognise your potential and to start taking meaningful steps towards achieving your goals is the main theme of this. So yeah, that's what happens when the Moon's North Node goes direct. The Moon also enters via combustor at 11:44 a.m. If you want to know more about what that means, listen to the end of this audio. Additionally, today on the 12th of February, Venus is making a semi-square to the Moon's North Node. So it suggests an interesting interplay between social, artistic and romantic relationships. This can be a period where you may find yourself surrounded by potential new connections or creative opportunities. However, it's beneficial to be aware of the potential for creating tension in relationships by you or others being rude or inconsiderate of each other's needs. So it's best to take care to be respectful and mindful of the feelings of those around you, and don't allow others to, hurt you. Be assertive, tell them if they're crossing your boundaries, and also keep in mind not to cross other people's boundaries. If you can stay kind and humble, even if you are right, sometimes we can just say things to prove our point, and yeah, you may be right, but if you try and prove that point, you can just blow things out of proportion and spoil an otherwise good time. But nevertheless, this energy allows us to take risks and make the most of all that comes your way today, and perfect for all types of creative and healing work. So yeah, that's the 12th of February. On the 13th of February, the Sun enters Aquarius at 4:15 a.m. Okay, so when the Sun enters Aquarius, it will remain there until the 15th of March. Remember, I do constellational Vedic astrology, so it's based on where the Sun and the Moon and the planets are at any given time up in the constellations. So the Sun's going to be in the constellation of Aquarius. So Aquarius is an air sign represented by the water bearer, and is known for being independent, humanitarian and innovative. During this time, Aquarians, or those with strong 11th house, Uranus or Saturn or 10th house energy in their natal charts, may feel more independent and innovative than usual. They may also be more interested in humanitarian causes, politics, social enterprise, stuff like that. Anything that is focused on making the world a better place. If you know an Aquarius, show them some extra love and support during this time. In short, we're driven by our own curiosity, craving for experiences, and desire more creativity and newness in our life. And of course, if you are an Aquarius, give yourself some love as well. I forgot to say that. So yeah, it's a good time to support those who want to break out of conformity, social norms, and a lot of you will recognise the outdated aspects of your life, such as toxic thoughts, toxic behaviours, toxic relationships, and may decide to look for new ideas, people and things in your life. Some of you will be focused more on your independence more than ever, with your freedom becoming more meaningful to you, and deciding to let go of things that make you feel normal, like no meaning or just waste your time. Especially those with strong Uranus, Saturn, 10th and 11th house natal placements may do all they can to free themselves from anything or anyone they feel is controlling them or holding them back. People born under Aquarian energy are known to be original and eccentric. So a lot of us may feel the urge to let go of conforming to other people, living up to their expectations, and just wanting more to be ourselves, because Aquarian energy is known for being determined, socially conscious, but also conscious of the self and progressive, ahead of its time. As you know, Aquarians are often the ones who are pushing the envelope, the boundaries, and who are always looking for new and innovative things to do. Aquarians are also known for quick minds, detached compassion, excellent communication skills, and being the rebels of the zodiac. Aquarians are also known for wanting to be social and being around people, although in a detached way, but their aloofness normally comes from people that don't feel on the same page of them, and they don't fall into the sorts of norms that we can do, people pleasing, and that they're more likely to say what's on their mind and not lie, and people don't like truth. So even if you're not Aquarius at this time, you may find yourself becoming more sociable, yes, but also truthful, and this can be rocky in relationships, because especially for those in committed relationships, because you may want to be, as I said before, independent and not feel tied down, and this can cause problems, especially if your partner doesn't feel this way at this time. So yeah, the Sun in Aquarius can bring significant changes, because Uranus and Saturn both rule Aquarius. This can bring with it upheaval and also transformation, also obstacles. So yeah, we can expect big changes in how we live and work during this time. The biggest changes will come from Uranus due to this energy bringing sudden and unexpected changes. Saturn, on the other hand, is known for its slow and methodical changes. Although the push to go faster, Uranus, and the pull to slow down, Saturn, can confuse you, these planets will bring opportunities to achieve epic transformations over the next month if you choose to do so. Mostly to do with your ego, will, your desire, and what you really want to do in life, because the Sun is always guiding us to reach our highest potential and go after the things that we really want. So that's what Sun energy is all about. Asserting ourselves, going after what we want by respecting others, but also not allowing them to hold us back as well. So as the Sun enters Aquarius, we are called to step into our power, express our authentic selves, and be bold and out there when doing it. Yet make strategic plans, Saturn, to make sure that the changes we decide to make last. This is a time to tap into your creativity and make your own choices. After all, as I said earlier, Aquarius energy is about independence and originality. So now is the time to, fly your feet, flag, and just be who you are and be true to yourself, and don't be afraid to stand out from the crowd. The world needs your unique perspectives and gifts, so don't be afraid to share them. As mentioned also earlier, Aquarius energy is known for being innovative and progressive, always looking for new and better ways to do things, to do them in more efficient ways. So this energy can be contagious right now, so use it to your advantage. If you have any big projects or goals you're working on, now is the time to push yourself, be open-minded and think outside the box to complete them, overcoming any previous obstacles. If you've been a bit lazy, putting it off, procrastinating, as we all do, or come up with any sort of oh no, I can't do this because people hate me and stuff. As long as you can be respectful for others, just remember you can never please all the people all the time, so it's best to please yourself in a non-selfish way, of course. But also be aware that some people call you selfish for wanting to do your own thing, so it's sort of like catch-22. But Aquarius energy is all about thinking differently, taking risks. So don't be afraid to do something out of your comfort zone. Come out your shell and embrace new ideas, be innovative and unique. Be yourself and be true to your own beliefs, because Aquarius is all about freedom. So this is a time to let your colours shine. You may be surprised with how well it turns out if you just dare to be yourself. Relationships and communication are under the spotlight. So this is the time to, open your hearts and minds to others, and learn to express yourself more clearly, and also build that fundamental relationship that we all need with ourselves, and show yourself some love and self-care as well. Again, Some of you may decide to end things because you may go within yourself, in your mind or in your intuition, and decide that your friends or your current lover or lovers are not what you want to be with, who you want to be with right now. Some of you may also decide to make up with old friends or start new relationships, and we will all benefit from more listening to others and considering their needs and perspectives as well. But it's so important to consider your own needs and take care of them as well. So yeah, it can be sad because some relationships may end, but positively new ones can start because people simply just don't want to answer to anyone anymore. There can also be problems with authority at this time, and some of you may step into a leadership role or start your own business. The energy of Aquarius encourages us to be more open-minded and tolerant of others. It's a great time to break down barriers and build bridges of understanding. By working together or working with all sides of our personality, we can create a more balanced and harmonious world for ourselves and others. And although the sun in Aquarius is in its detriment because, it makes us more inward at this time and more cool and detached, but it's what's needed to take that sort of logical approach. It can be highly unpredictable as well. People can be more curious about intellectual knowledge and science and stuff like that, and not so much interested in, the lovey-dovey side of things. But it can be good because sometimes we get so caught up in being romantic and idealistic, and that doesn't mean not to be romantic and idealistic, but we forget to see truth and to see people and life as they are. So Sun in Aquarius helps us to just take that detached look and just to see the truth of the matter and to step into our own selves and to break out of the moulds that other people may want us to fit in as well. So as long as you avoid becoming self-obsessed, overly concerned with materialistic, like how much money you other people have got right now, and just be a bit more analytical, be a bit more calculating, but also open up a little as well, and avoid becoming aggressive if other people don't want to do what you want to do during this time, because that's another danger of Sun transiting in Aquarius as well. Also, if you find yourself not having the answer to a question or problem right now, don't feel embarrassed or pretend to know that you know the answer. Just say, hey, I don't know. And I know it can be hard because we feel like we should know certain things by a certain age in our life, but we can't all know everything. So yeah, that was the Sun transiting in Aquarius. Also today, on the 13th of February at 11:17 a.m, the moon enters void of course, and this is a time when some astrologers say it's best to put certain things off. If you want to know more about that, listen to the end of this audio. The moon also enters Scorpio today at 3:08 p.m. all times are in GMT. Also, if you want to know what to do when the moon's in Scorpio, listen to the end of this. The moon also enters its last quarter moon phase at 4:01 p.m. today. The last quarter moon or third quarter moon is a symbolic representation of the waning phase of the lunar cycle. In this phase, the moon appears to be lit at 50% on the left side, giving the impression of a waning crescent. It's a powerful time to release all that no longer serves us, allowing us to move forward with clarity and focus. It is also a good time to identify and release any burdens that no longer serve you. This is a moment to start or continue purging any self-destructive thoughts, addictions, or relationships, especially if it happens when the moon's in void of course as well. It gives that extra double powerful energy, allowing you to make room for what you wish to invite in your life in the coming new moon. This phase can bring forth a sense of liberation, allowing us to let go of our emotional and mental baggage, leaving us feeling lighter and more balanced. It's also a good time to be mindful of your words, as we can tend to speak more freely without thinking of the consequences. This can cause arguments in relationships. The last quarter moon is a reminder of the importance of knowing when and how to let go. List of things that can come into focus during the last quarter moon. At worst, brings mood swings and a conflict between the masculine and feminine energy, so the side of you that's more emotional, spiritual, and the side of you that's more rational, logical. Also, quick responses and impulsive actions. You can focus on getting rid of the old to make room for the new, decluttering your house, your car, your office, releasing burdens, whether that be in personal hobbies, projects, relationships or habits, increased sensuality, need for touch, unblocking your repressed emotions and energy, being more responsive to hands-on healing therapies like massage, acupuncture, investigating your obstacles and thinking about the ways that you can overcome your challenges, gives increased insight, good time to partake in self-care or meditation, questioning your grudges, bitterness and regrets to work through them, forgiveness of yourself and others. Okay, so yeah, that was the 13th of February. On the 14th of February, the moon enters out of bounds at 10:06 a.m. and leaves via combustion at 17:38 a.m. So when the moon leaves the fiery way, it's a sign of hope for the world and the soul, reminding that no matter how difficult the road ahead or behind us was, it is always possible to overcome it and to heal from our past and the damage that it's left us with, if that's the case. The moon's journey through the fiery way is an inspirational reminder that no matter what life throws at us, we'll always have the power to persevere and rise above, even if the odds are stacked against us. So when the moon departs from the via combustion, it can mark a new beginning, if you want it to mean that, and a new start for us, and a reminder that no matter what happens, we will always have the planets and the luminaries to show us the way. So yeah, that was the 14th of February. On the 15th of February, the moon enters void of course at 2:06 a.m. and Venus also enters Pisces at 2:33 p.m. all times during GMT times. Yeah, in astrology, transits are a powerful tool that can help us understand ourselves and our lives on a much deeper level. When a planet transits through a sign, it brings forth energies associated with that sign, which can impact our lives in many ways. The key theme words for this transit of Venus in Pisces are increased creative expression, heightened sensitivity, a desire to connect with others, compassion and understanding of yourself and others, search for meaning in your experiences, taking time out to reflect, increase intuition and expansion of emotional intelligence. So the planet Venus is also known as the planet of love. Inner values, beauty, possessions, ownership and money also are controlled by this sign. Also, when Venus enters Pisces, emotional intelligence expands. This is because Pisces is a water sign, and water signs are known for their emotional sensitivity. You may find yourself feeling more intuitive and psychic than usual. When Venus transits in Pisces, we often search for more meaningful experiences and become more interested in connecting with others on a deeper level or finding ways to express our creativity. We may find ourselves attracted to creative and artistic pursuits and being more in touch with our emotions. Venus in Pisces is a powerful position because Venus is exalted in Pisces. In astrology, this means it's a good position for Venus to be, except for when it's in Libra and Taurus. They're also good positions because Venus rules Libra and Taurus. So yeah, so Venus in Pisces can make us all a bit more tender and affectionate and more open to date nights and stuff like that, and embracing the complexity of love and life. There's a chance to understand the people we love or want to love, opening our hearts to them and recognising their unique blend of strengths and weaknesses and accepting them, because that's what love is about. So, you know, we've all got flaws and we've also got good points, and it's about loving both of those. We may be more forgiving and willing to give people the benefit of the doubt, are more sensitive to the needs of others, are more inclined to help them. Also, people can be more seductive or seductible, falling under the influence of love, romance, idealism, finding beauty and romance in even the little details that can make a difference to us all. Our love can be more expansive and open to, a sense of universal love and human connectedness, remembering that it is our birthright to be loved and appreciated by ourselves and other people in whatever form that takes. So let us relish in the beauty of these Piscean Venus seas and be open to the infinite possibilities of the love that it brings. Although it can be hard to reach this level of collective love and forgiveness and compassion for ourselves and others, because we get hurt, we get let down in lives, but if we can keep on working at it, we can get there and be more open to love, even if it's just loving ourselves, or while we can eventually just take those steps to self-care. And I believe there's someone out there, or someone's out there for everyone. So yeah, Venus transit in Pisces can be refreshing if you are usually quite practical and down to earth, but some of you may struggle with feeling more vulnerable and sensitive, so you may be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be this open, and you feel open because that's what Venus in Pisces wants us to do. So some of you, rather than take this feeling of being more vulnerable, because of that, you may just want to spend some time alone because you feel vulnerable and you don't want to get caught up in your feelings, and it unnerves you, especially the more analytical sort of types. Although this can, as I said before, be a great time of beauty and romance, it can also be a time of sadness and delusionment if we're not careful. It's essential to be honest with ourselves about what we're looking for and open to at this time, while remaining open to all the possibilities that can come our way. Nevertheless, Venus in Pisces energy supports any action you take to be more open-minded and sensitive without allowing yourself to be manipulated or deceived by others. Watch out for excessive use of drugs, alcohol, or any other intoxicating substances, overindulging in unprotected sex. Also, avoid energy vampires and anything else that drains your energy. If you focus and stay true to yourself, you can use this energy to create a more deep, meaningful connection with the world around you. Some of you may experience a profound connection with your innermost feelings and thoughts. Pisces energy encourages us to explore the more idealistic, pensive, fantasy and creative sides of our life and ourselves that we often overlook in our day-to-day routines. Neptune, the planet of imagination, rules Pisces, so you may find yourself daydreaming more often. You may also find yourself being more attracted to the spiritual and mystical sides of life right now. With Venus in Pisces, the boundaries between the physical and the spiritual world melt away for some of you, allowing you to experience beauty and bliss in a different dimension, yet be careful in the occult and astral realms, making sure you do your best to stay grounded when doing any psychic activities, because not doing so can lead to emotional, psychological and spiritual imbalances. We must remember with all things occult and that, just like on the Alf realm, we have we have AHATs and people that like to wind people up and say the wrong things and give information. A good guide doesn't interfere in our lives as such, they will tell us what to do, but when they say that we have to do things in a certain way, that's when you should be skeptical, because there's many paths to the same destination, and the call to be a better human being and therefore return to your innate sense of being a still and inwardly knowing soul has to come from within. So you have to grow to that level rather than being forced to that level. Also, watch out for people in the psychic realms that tell you to do spells and every occult magic and other people. Each to their own and all of that. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not the karma police. But just know, just like in real life, if we break laws and stuff, there's always repercussions said, not to scare you, but to inform you. So yeah, anyway. When Venus transits in Pisces, it can be an excellent time to take some time out for reflection, connect with your inner self and start or continue the work of dealing with any spiritual, psychological or any emotional issues that you have. You may, as I said, be more sensitive and open to this kind of deep inner work and to the energies and vibes within and around you, so you'll be more tuned to the subtleties of life and picking up on people that may not be so good to you. And sometimes we don't notice if people are talking behind your back, but at this time you may be more aware of these subtle little things people do, or just aware of the psychic realm around you. Your dreams may be more vivid and meaningful, and you may feel more aligned with your higher self and connect with your creative problem solving skills. This can be a healing and rejuvenating transit where you just feel more inspired. Don't be afraid to get lost in the moment, because you never know what new ideas and insights you may find if you give your mind and spirit the space to explore. Let go of the little things that bring you down and take some much needed time to relax, reflect and expand your creativity. If you can, open yourself up to new horizons and experiences. Don't be afraid to push the boundaries of your comfort zone. It may seem daunting, but exploring and experimenting can provide you with new perspectives you might not even know that you had, or that you weren't open to before. And don't be discouraged if things don't turn out the way you wanted them to be. Just think of it as a learning opportunity. If you feel disappointed in the journey towards self-discovery and being more aware of yourself and other people, and I know all these things, these woo-woo things can be hard to accept and stuff, and it takes a long time to stay centered in yourself, but if you keep on persevering, this energy of Venus in Pisces can just open you up to the deepest recesses, places of self-love, connectedness, care, understanding, healing. If you're single, this can be a nice time to go out and meet new people. You can crush it, whatever it is you put your mind, body and soul into. If you stay open and have a curious heart, just watch out and do not ignore red flags. In conclusion, when Venus transits in Pisces, we can expect our relationships to be more dreamy, romantic and compassionate. We'll be more open and accepting of others, but don't get lost in people's sub-stories. Yeah, be more open and just check facts before you give and help others, because you know sometimes people can play on emotions, and I'm not telling you not to be a good person or anything like that, but just you also have to protect yourself. You may also find yourself being more attracted to people, things that are more otherworldly or spiritual, but remember what I said about being grounded and being careful about the things, the doors you open, because you can't always close them after. Overall, just be careful not to get lost in your own fantasy world or other people's psychic games and toxic energy, or even the toxic side of yourself, so destructive thoughts and habits. Don't get upset and reject them, rather explore the root of why you may feel negative about yourself or others or whatever it is, and make steps to heal these things that hold you back. Venus is shining down abundance of love and inner awareness and being able to see the beauty in our imperfections. So it's up to you whether you take this time to embrace the energies that Venus is giving to us all at this time. So yeah, that's Venus transit in Pisces. Also today at 7:16, the moon enters Sagittarius. This can also add to the foretelling and visionary dreams or ideas that some of you may experience right now. So some of you may also feel restless, seeking independence and more adventure, and disliking routine. If you want to know more about moon in a Sagittarius, listen to the end of this. Also today, on the 15th of February, Venus makes a conjunction to Neptune. This brings as it enters Pisces, it brings a beautiful opportunity to seek spiritual union with yourself and a higher power or other people. You may find yourself drawn to a higher level of connection, both emotionally and intellectually, with yourself. This can be the perfect time to explore the depths of platonic and love and possible. It is a romantic adventure, so it's sort of supporting the Venus entering Pisces energy. Short and enjoyable journeys may also turn out good as well. This remarkable combination of the transiting planets, Venus and Neptune. And Venus is good in Pisces, as I just said, which Neptune rules, is a divine opportunity to connect profoundly with yourself or someone special. So if you've been putting off saying affectionate words to those you care about, now is a good time. It's also a good energy that invokes a sense of inspiration and creativity that encourages you to explore the wonders of art, music, writing and any other creative art form. Not only can this time be a time of great love and connection, but also a time of tremendous growth and self-discovery. Embrace this unique chance to use it to open your heart and mind to the beauty and the potential of this moment, and let the divine energy of the planets flow through you, guiding you towards a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. So Venus conjunct Neptune supporting everything and kind of magnifying that energy to connect deeply with yourself, others, or a higher power you believe in. So yeah, on the 16th of February, there's a moon void, of course, that starts at 10:11. Also today, transiting Sun also conjuncts Saturn. So it can feel like a daunting time, as if progress is slowed down and hard to come by. You may feel as though you're crawling up a steep hill and hitting roadblocks along the way, but never fear. This planetary influence is here to guide you and help you develop the perseverance and determination needed to reach your goals. Obstacles presented by Saturn can be viewed as a challenge and an opportunity to practice resilience and patience. Authority figures may appear inflexible, but that doesn't mean you can't make progress. On the contrary, it is a time to focus on the bigger picture and to stay true to your vision. Keep working hard and stay the course to reach your goals. Also, transiting Mercury square transiting Moon's North Node, which can make it easier to establish interesting, stimulating and meaningful connections with others and network with those in authority. So someone in authority may give you a helping hand up or give you some advice that, if you take over a long period of time, can bring the rewards or changes in your life so that you want to see. This can be a great time to learn something new and to get to know the people in your life better. The square may also bring some difficulties with others through cunning or trickery, so be mindful how you interact with people and try to remain honest and straightforward while communicating. Additionally, this can be a great time to focus on self-improvement and take time to reflect on the relationships in your life, learning from the experiences and growing from them. Remember to take advantage of the opportunities presented by this transit and make the most of this time. On the 17th of February, there's a Balsamic moon at 2:34. So yeah, if you want to know more about the Balsamic moon, listen to the end of this audio. Also today, the moon enters Capricorn at 8:19 p.m. All times are in GMT. If you want to listen to that, also listen to the end of this audio as well. And also today we have Mercury making a semi-square with Neptune. It can confuse and lead to misunderstandings. Using your imagination at this time can be a blessing and a curse, as it can lead to thinking one thing and saying another. It is essential to be aware of the potential for deception and misrepresentation of facts and the risk of being exposed to lies or misunderstandings, and also misunderstanding your own sort of like thoughts and intuitive guidance. Miscommunications can be rampant under this astrological alignment, and faulty judgment is likely to be inevitable. So check facts, and if you can't, ask someone for advice if you feel you're unable to think clearly. It is important to be mindful of the possibilities and guard against them, lest one finds themselves in a tangled web of confusion. Additionally, transit Mercury sextiles Jupiter. This can be a time of great energy and potential. The alignment of these two planets encourages us to think more positively and take action to make our dreams possible. This is the perfect time to launch commercial activity, a new business, or to invest or anything else you're involved in. Negotiate and settle contracts or lay the groundwork for a new venture. The universe supports us in reaching our goals, so don't be afraid to take risks and put yourself out there. Make your dreams come true and be brave in pursuing your ambitions. With the right mindset right now, anything is possible. On the 18th of February, Neptune enters Pisces at 3:34 p.m. All times are in GMT, and will stay there until March 28th, 2025. So when Neptune transits through Pisces, an intense and powerful energy is released, affecting all aspects of our life. The keynotes of this transit are that it can bring a greater connection to the subconscious. It can be a time of being open and receptive to new ideas. Overindulgence and escapism can be a challenge during this time, where people looking to numb themselves from the pain that can come up or anything that happens during this time. Intuitive understanding can be enhanced. It is vital to be aware of your own boundaries, and learning to trust your intuition is key during this transit of Neptune in Pisces. And of course, Neptune's comfortable here because it rules Pisces. This transformative and influential energy has the potential to bring about profound changes in the lives of those who feel the effect of Neptune transiting in Pisces. Those with strong Jupiter, Sagittarius, 9th and 12th house, and also 8th and Scorpio energy may feel it more than others due to the esoteric and mundane rulership. If we take time to listen and understand its messages and venture on a journey of insight and growth, committing to trusting in our inner guidance and the promises of the universe or our higher selves and higher power, the journey through Pisces, which Neptune is taking, can bring about positive and negative experiences depending on how the individual chooses to channel this vibration. I will talk about the pros and cons of Neptune transiting in Pisces and take an in-depth look at the effect of this transit and tell you how to make the most of it and navigate through the challenges that will arise as Neptune transits in Pisces. The influence of Neptune in Pisces is complex and far-reaching, like a giant octopus reaching its tentacles into every corner of our lives right now. Our spiritual and creative energies can be heightened, and we may find our imaginations more vivid and powerful than ever before. We can tap into this greater source of inspiration, though there may be a slight risk of getting lost in our dreams and forgetting to do our chores. This energy can be incredibly beneficial if we use it wisely. We may find ourselves more in tune with our intuition and more open to new ideas and experiences. We may also find that our spiritual connections are deeper and more meaningful, allowing us to form stronger bonds with those around us. Neptune in Pisces brings an increase in spiritual awareness, allowing for spiritual growth and exploration of Neptune's higher vibrations, brings a heightened sense of connection to the cosmic energy within us all. Pisces is associated with sensitivity, compassion and intuition, so this transit encourages us to tap into our spiritual side and develop a greater understanding of the unseen aspects of our lives. During this time, some of you may experience an awakening of the mind and soul and an opening of the heart. It's helpful to stay grounded and remain clear-minded so that you don't get lost in Neptune's dreamy haze. Still, it's a great time to focus on creativity and imagination. The transit's energy helps us to open up to the subconscious, allowing us to access intuition and visions that can be used to create something new and alternative ways of thinking. Although Neptune transit in Pisces can bring a greater connection to the subconscious, which can be a positive experience for those looking to explore their inner selves and have a better understanding of their motivations and desires, it can also be a time of negativity for some because, we don't all want to deal with the crap, the traumas that we have in our subconscious, but I'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, it can be being connected to our subconscious. It can be a time of heightened intuition and dreamlike states, allowing us to tap into our inner wisdom and explore the hidden depth of our psyches for those that are open to that. Neptune transit in Pisces can enhance our intuitive understanding of ourselves and our others, and give us the access to that spiritual wisdom that can just help us just be comfortable with the chaos that is our world right now. Some of you may receive messages from your higher self and ancestors that can help you make decisions and understand life more deeply. Additionally, your intuition can become so strong that you can sense the thoughts, feelings and emotions of others more easily, receiving insights into their deeper emotions and personal world that can help you and them connect others, or may freak them out, because like some of you may be so in tune with them that you can tap into their secrets, and they may not want that. So just be careful of that and how you approach that, because this connection to your own and other people's inner world can be a double-edged sort of like sword, as it may reveal the darker aspects of your subconsciousness, and that can be a difficult process to understand and come to terms with. Although positively, you could both lead each other on your spiritual path for psychological and emotional healing. But yeah, it's important to remember to be mindful of your own inner workings and be kind to yourself and others during this transit. It is hard, can be challenging, but it's best to face whatever comes up right now head on directly, no matter how unconventional or scary the things you experience now may seem. This is an opportunity to let go of rigid beliefs and ways of thinking, and not being stubborn, and being open to new solutions to your problems and new experiences with yourself and others. But with that being said, it's also important to remember that Neptune in Pisces can bring out the best and worst in people, as it can bring out feelings of positively compassion and kindness, as well as confusion, addiction, delusion and manipulation, due to the emotions and other things that come with Neptune's transit through Pisces. We can heighten the need for overindulgence and escapism. We may find ourselves in a downward spiral of self-destructive behaviours as we seek solace in eternal distractions from these kind of deep psychological, emotional feelings that may surface. And some people may use drugs excessively, watch porn, or at an alarming rate, hooking up with whoever will have us, binge watching every Netflix show or any other streaming platform show that's ever been made, and drink enough alcohol, take enough drugs to fill a pool. Don't do that, but don't do that. Here I will say, normally I'm like, I'm not the karma piece, but breaking cover here, don't do that. And if you feel like doing that, seek out help from the Samaritans in the UK or any other person who can help you, because we might find ourselves in questionable situations, such as attempting to bring the Macarena back or wearing socks with sandals. Sorry, I just wanted to lighten the mood there. So our actions may have us questioning our own sanity, and it's wise to practice discernment if you can, and have caution around this transit, to be mindful of the pitfalls, and as I said, get help if you do feel like you're drowning and stuff. And it is also necessary to be aware and enforce your own boundaries. It's easy to get swept up in the overwhelming emotions and energies that come with this transit, but if you stay mindful of your own needs, ensure you're not taking on too much, to avoid becoming overly confused and lacking clarity. So it's necessary to take the time to practice self-care and understanding and awareness and love and nurturing, and focus on what is actually helpful to you in a non-selfish way. It's also helpful to practice clear communication and to be honest with yourself and others about what you can and cannot handle. Awareness of your boundaries will help you stay grounded and focused during this transit. Enforcing your boundaries, watching out for manipulation, and ensuring you don't try to deceive others and allow yourself to be vulnerable yet not too susceptible. So you hear and trust your intuition is a key component of navigating this transit of Neptune in Pisces, so that you can understand the messages your higher self or higher power has for you. The spiritual, emotional and psychological waters of this transit can be choppy and confusing. Still, your intuition can guide you on how to best move through the themes that this transit brings up, so you do your best to listen out and stay in tune with its vibes. And it can be harder to do so, and it can be hard to stay in tune with yourself and your intuition if you overindulge in intoxicating substances or people. And it is hard, when you feel weighed down by all your problems and stuff. But just try your best to do all you can in healthy ways, so that you can hear that still inner voice that can guide you to the best possible solutions for your issues. And if you do this, you may understand things deeper, and your intuition can give you clarity and understanding, as I said. Additionally, by learning to trust in your intuition, you can open yourself up to this transit's creative potential. This transit, all in all, to start summing up, can be both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, we can experience a feeling of freedom and liberation from our daily burdens and express our creativities in ways we haven't before. On the other hand, we can get dragged into all forms of escapism, addiction, manipulation and overindulgence. To stay balanced and to make the most of this transit, it is essential to remember that it's possible to find comfort and joy in the simple pleasures and everyday activities, rather than relying on external sources of pleasure. Creativity and imagination are also essential for living a fulfilling life. Neptune in Pisces encourages us to tap into our unique vision and authentic self-expression that makes you feel balanced, loved and secure within. So I just want to talk now a bit more in depth about the spiritual meaning of Neptune in Pisces. So it gives us a chance to it creates an atmosphere of spiritual and emotional depths for us. So it can bring a deep spiritual journey and the ability to access the depths of your soul. This transit encourages us to look within and explore our emotions and spiritual depths, as I mentioned, and to grow spiritually and increase our self-awareness. We may be more open to new philosophies, spiritual practices and metaphysical teachings. As I said, it's a greater time of compassion and understanding, self-understanding, understanding of the world, of the cult, of the mystic or known realms. As we connect with our higher self and tap into the collective consciousness, it is an opportunity to experience great revelations that can profoundly shift perspectives and provide guidance. Neptune in Pisces can also be a time of healing and introspection, as the energies of this transit encourages us to look within and recognize our own hidden subconscious truths and to heal them and deal with the root causes of any pain and trauma, as well as give ourselves praise and uncover those talents and use those talents and creativity to solve the problems that come up right now. Also, Neptune transit in Pisces can provide a unique opportunity to explore and gain insight into our subconscious patterns and patterns from our past life. So it's very calm in the 12th house, which Neptune's rules, and where Pisces energy is symbolically in astrology. It's all about our karma and the things we keep hidden from ourselves and others. So this can be a powerful time to uncover karmic lessons and get to the root causes of the issues, as I just said earlier, that's holding us back. By tapping into our subconscious mind, we can gain insight into why certain patterns manifest in our lives and how to live with them, understand them, heal them and move forward in the best ways. With this understanding, we can make conscious choices that help us to create the life we desire. So Neptune rules the subconscious, so we need to bring the subconscious out. And as Carl Jung said, if we don't deal with our subconscious, we'll keep reliving our past and call this fate. So Neptune kind of in Pisces is giving us that chance to change our fate, so we can, live our best lives, as we say nowadays. Also, when Neptune is transiting in Pisces, the possibility of uncovering the deep layers of yourself are opened up. So again, it gives us, that really unique chance to work through our self-destructive thoughts, behaviours, repressions and addictions. So yeah, it's a time where we can start to break away from our ego's illusions and become aware of the hidden motivations lurking beneath the surface. Through reflection and contemplation, we can better understand the hidden patterns that might be sabotaging our progress and feeling alive and just getting over our past, showing us the ways that we keep repeating it by attracting the same lovers or friends or negative experiences in our life overall. And it's not to say that everything that happens to you is your fault, because we don't have a choice really in how other people behave, but we do have a choice in what we allow in our lives. So this is a chance to be honest with ourselves and take the steps necessary to reclaim our power and break free from the trappings of our old ways and destructive relationships and patterns of relating. So spiritually, emotionally and psychologically, Neptune's transit in Pisces can bring about a major karmic shift depending on how your awareness is and how willingness you are to be open to these new possibilities. It lasts up until March the 28th, 2025. So it's a good solid 2 years and 2 months period that you can really just break down the changes. Don't rush, be scared, let yourself go through the motions, but also give yourself a chance to be empowered, and don't just think, because this is the biggest trap. You think, oh, I'm 20 now for you in your 20s, or I'm 30 now, or 40 or 50, my life is doomed, I can't. And some of us, we spend 30, 20, all of our lives thinking that way and never doing the things that we actually can do. Because I believe if we think a thing, we can do it. Most things, most of us can't walk on the moon and stuff like that, but hey, who knows? But no. But we can do things like have a better life. Our childhood, our past heartbreaks don't need to determine the rest of our lives. And I'm speaking to myself as much as I'm speaking to anyone that's listening here. So yeah, in conclusion, Neptune's transit in Pisces can be a time of great spiritual growth and creative inspiration. This transit can bring about a spiritual awakening and an influx of creative energy and a heightened sense of compassion and empathy. It is essential to take this time to reflect on your innermost desires and aspirations, as they may reveal deep spiritual truths and karmic patterns that you're stuck in that you need to break free from. It can also be a time of confusion and illusion, as the boundaries between what is real and what is imagined can become blurred. It is beneficial to be mindful of Neptune and Pisces energies and remember to stay grounded and connected to reality. The best use of this energy is to practice self-reflection and be open to receiving spiritual, emotional and psychological guidance from the universe. The mysterious Neptune energy can teach us to pause and take a few moments to reflect. With this mindfulness, we can unlock the power of our intuition and tap into our creative potential. In these moments of reflection, we can feel the potential of the universe and its endless possibilities. We must be wise and patient. We must navigate the ebbs and flows of the Neptunian seas and energy and use this power to our advantage. When the moon enters Scorpio. So esoterically, the best use of this energy is to look after your financial, sexual and emotional health, working to understand and let go of any anger, increase your self-discipline, take practical actions towards completing things, study scientific, technological or occult topics, and forgive those who feel you have wronged you. If you find it hard to express your emotions, writing them down may help. The moon in the constellation of Scorpio may also see people becoming more diligent and making practical effort to improve their home environment. This is incredible energy to ensure your life and other insurance policies are up to date. If you consciously use the Scorpio moon vibration, you can complete the things you put your willpower to, doing the work to improve your physical or inner emotional spiritual and psychological home, as well as taking care of your finances, can bring extra rewards in the long term. There can also be an increase in sexual and psychic energy. Negatively, past emotional resentments and conflicts involving money and other resources may cause problems in relationships. Although you may take action to avoid these types of confrontations, you may be forced to deal with them. It's best to admit any wrongdoing and try and forgive others and yourself. This may be hard to do, yet remember, we can never change our past. We can relive it repeatedly in our minds, blocking the new directions we could be walking towards. There can also be an increase in jealous and or vengeful behaviour under the Scorpio moon. People can be intent on repaying what they see as past wrongs. People can become more secretive about behaviours, furthering the tension in relationships. Some of you may feel like your creative and vital energies are blocked. Getting as much rest as possible is essential to rejuvenating your life force. Screaming may be the best and only way to release your pent-up rage. Lack of money may also bring you added stress, but it's imperative to consider what you can do with what you have rather than focus on what you lack. It can take longer to reach your goals due to a lack of adequate resources, but if you keep on trying, you will eventually get there. Although you may be tempted to start new things, it's best to use this moon to finish up old business and projects and resolve old arguments. Study scientific, technological, occult or intellectual subjects and practice self-discipline and moon control. For gardeners out there, when the moon is in Scorpio, it's a decent time to plant hard crops and vines such as pole beans, corn, cucumbers, pumpkins, tomatoes, squashes, melons and courgettes. When the moon enters the constellation of Sagittarius, some of you may have foretelling, visionary dreams or ideas, and as you know, the sun's in Sagittarius and now the moon's going into Sagittarius as well, so it's amplifying this energy. You may find yourself more restless, seeking independence and adventure and disliking routine. You may have a keener sense of justice, but it's best to think before you say your insights. Legal, political, workplace or community events may sometimes interfere with your social or personal commitments when the moon's in the constellation of Sagittarius. This energy allows you to focus, however you may forget to consider others' feelings and thoughts, which can cause disagreements. If you find yourself on edge and more sensitive than usual, you may find that exercising or anything else to release the pent-up energy emotion will help you relax. You may pay more attention to politics, finances or cultural activities, especially if they directly affect you or your home life. You may find yourself taking a trip with family or friends to a place of profound significance to you guys. People may become more friendly, empathetic, outspoken, honest, ethical and direct, more so than normal, making things more peaceful in relationships. The Sagittarius moon can make people want more freedom, which may cause disturbances in committed relationships. Negatively, people can become more eccentric, selfish, detached and unpredictable. There can be an increase in disagreements over prejudiced opinions and ways of life. There can also be legal or other serious problems due to disagreements or over religious or any other beliefs that you may have as well. Sometimes there can be problems with financial transactions and people deceiving others or fraudulently getting what they want through professional means. It is vital that you double check all paperwork and do your own research. At times there can be a struggle with being willing to take a more philosophical or higher consciousness approach to your life, and the side of you that wants to stay in your comfort zone, maybe because of traumatic memories from your childhood and the beliefs you were told to follow, that may surface now, causing the conflicts between you wanting to try out a new belief and the part of you just like, no, I must do what I was brought up to do and stuff like that. If you do receive guidance right now, of course, analyze it, but don't disregard it solely because of what's happened in your past or your past beliefs. The best use of the moon's energy traveling through the constellation of Sagittarius is to plan long journeys maybe, or and be open-minded, look over legal documents, resolve conflicts and focus on the bigger picture of your education, any educational new skills you may want to learn, any new belief system or your current belief system, questioning if it's still valid, and also taking some time out to look into your personal development. Anything that expands your intellect or consciousness in some way is good. Some of you may benefit from seeking out spiritual, religious, psychological, philosophical, or some other form of guidance and exploration. In fact, some of you may become intrigued to the point of obsession with occult knowledge or practices. When the moon travels through the constellation of Sagittarius, it's a good time for those involved in farming or gardening to sprout seeds, harvest or store bulbs and roots, plant or cultivate bulb or fruit plants, and sort of like general groundwork is favoured. The moonlight will boost the growth of the leaves and the planting of things like legumes, lentils, peas and beans and cucurbits, such as cucumber, courgette, squash, melons and tomatoes and peppers, and also mowing the lawn. All these things are weather permitting, because sometimes the moon goes into Sagittarius when it's winter in certain places and it's not good to plant those things, but yeah, in general it is. So the key words of the Balsamic moon are relax, reflect, renew, cleanse, plan, stillness, transformation, celebrating, progress and letting go. Typically lasts 3 to 3.5 days. When you're in this phase, you can become more comfortable with your own and other people's darkness. The waning crescent moon, or the dark moon, as some call it, or the balsamic moon, is a good time for some time out to spend time alone in solitude in your free time. The balsamic moon is one of the most enigmatic of astrological moon phases, often drowned in mystery and enigma on the sort of spiritual level, as it marks the end of the lunar cycle and the beginning of another, so the end of the full moon period, and we're coming into the new moon in a few days. It often relates to one's destiny, an overall commitment to one's life path. During the balsamic moon, you may shy away from the hectic, but this moon phase really wants us to get ready to release and let go, to chill out. And if you don't know how to chill out, do some research on it, or hang around with those who know to do so, or Google it. This isn't a promotion for Google, by the way, but yeah. The dark moon is all about continuing or starting to let go of the things or people that hold you back. As the moon prepares to enter its rejuvenating phase at the time of the coming new moon, throughout the balsamic moon transit, you may find yourself contemplating the past and thinking more about the future without much focus on the now. You may have a deeper connection with your inner voice, intuition, imagination and dream life. When the moon is in dark moon crescent phase, you may ask questions like, what do I need to change to be who I really want to be? What's stopping me? What patterns of my past do I keep repeating? What steps do I need to take to create the future I want? What do I need to give up in able to move forward? To sum up, the balsamic moon phase is a call to action to reevaluate the direction of your life and the goals that have been set by you. It can be difficult, but it's also an opportunity to gain more clarity, make plans and take the necessary steps forwards that need to be taken in your life. This phase also encourages us to take a closer look at the dreams and ambitions we have for our lives, and to let go of all that has served its purpose, especially your self-destructive thoughts which create your bad habits. So when the moon's in the constellation of Capricorn, people are more concerned with their careers and public matters and what is practical and profitable, and are more inclined to push their emotions aside. There can be an increase in socialising and networking for career or other professional reasons. You and others can become more formal and uncaring. This is a good energy to organise and become more disciplined in thought and action. Making a financial plan for your old age and helping others to do so is a perfect use of this vibration, as are all other forms of financial and material planning. Do your best to positively reduce any stress you have about your financial, spiritual, physical, spiritual and emotional health. Negatively, the moon transiting in Capricorn can make for a lot of family drama, arguments over money, status, taste, or lack of possessions. People can be more withdrawn, pessimistic and depressed than usual, being fearful of trying new things or hearing fresh ideas. Rather than sort yourself out from your emotions, relieve any stress you have about your financial, psychological, physical, spiritual and emotional health in a positive way rather than, keeping it all in. That can lead to you drinking your sorrows alone and stuff like that, because Capricorn makes us do things in secret rather than out there typically. The best use of the moon in Capricorn is to concentrate on business, household and other practical matters or problems, focusing on your own personal or career goals, development and healing, without becoming too obsessive and egotistical and sorting out those you're intimate with without explanation or sorting yourself out. Although you may be more emotional, reserved, then other times it's best to speak to all you come into contact with sensitivity and understanding, rather than being cold, because this can just come across as just not caring. Do all you can to avoid excessiveness, pick your battles wisely and protect your reputation by being ethical and direct. It's an excellent time to help any children or anyone younger than you whose lives you're involved in with their career or educational process. When the moon is in Capricorn, it's good for gardeners to plant all forms of root crops because it supports rapid healing and excessive root growth. This increases final yield. It's also a perfect energy to fertilise and prune your garden as it will recover quickly. So yeah, that's the weekly scopes from the 11th to the 18th of February. Thanks for listening, take care and see you next week.